Hi students, very good morning. Today in this session we are going to start the inorganic content. Right? This chapter, whatever we are going to deal, it is having a major importance in our JEE as well as NEET profile. So the chapter name is coordination complexes. See, this is very simple chapter. Okay, very easy chapter if you understand. But in NEET we can expect minimum 2 to 3 questions every year. In JEE minimum 1 to 2. Okay, minimum is 1, maximum is 2. So coordination complexes. Before going to the coordination complexes, we shall go for what is meant by double salt. Right? So if I take the example like double salt. You know that salt means it is cationic part, anionic part from strong acid, strong base, weak acid, weak base, strong acid, weak base, weak acid, strong base. Anyhow, acid and base reaction gives rise to salt. This is very clear from first year, right? I will keep it. You are having two salts. You will be having two salts, then it is called as double salt. Right? Example is our KCl, MgCl2, 6H2. It is called as carbonate. Okay? This is called as carbonate. Like you are having something like potassium sulfate, aluminum sulfate, 24 H2O. Okay? Something this is called as alum. Simple. Potassium aluminum sulfates with water it is called as alum. Something you are having some as ammonium sulfate. See, this is Fe plus 2, SO4 minus 2. So you will be getting FeSO4. This is one solid. Ammonium NH4 plus SO4 minus 2. So you will be getting NH4 taken by this one. Dot 6H2. So this is called as something like more solid. See, double salt. You know that how salt is formed. Salt is formed by the reaction between acid and base. This is the first point. Okay? Salt is formed by the reaction between acid and base. Right? Then that is called as salt. If you are having two salts in combination, okay, then that is called as double salt. If you have three salts, it is called as triple salt. Nothing problem. But our syllabus is only up to double salt. See, if you look over here. So what are the ions you can expect from this thing? From carbonate, you can expect, if you hydrolysis like that, you can expect K plus 1 ion, Cl minus 1 ion, and Mg plus 2. Don't go for water because they are dissolving in water itself. Right? So these are the ions we expected. Okay? Next is this one. Here K plus, okay, aluminum plus 3. Sulfate, you can expect, right? And here you can expect Fe plus 2, something like NH4 plus and SO4 minus. So these are the ions you can expect. See, KCl is 1 plus KCl, K plus as well as Cl minus. If you are dissolving this entire compound in water, what you are getting? You are getting the ions as well as water 100% in the salt. Here also the same case. You are getting the ions water 100% in the salt. Okay? So the property of this entire compound, okay, after dissolution in water, before dissolution in water are the same. Okay? The properties whatever this one is present. If you dissolve in water, you are getting the same ions. Okay? So before dissolving in water and after dissolving in water, the properties are same for double salts. And the constant point is whatever this salt is formed by the combination of these things. And you are regaining all the ions whenever you have dissolved in water. So then these type of salts are called as double salts. But we don't have any importance with respect to double salts. We are going to learn with respect to coordination complexes. Okay, right. Then what do you mean by coordination complex means? So these are some examples of double salts. If you go for the CO, okay, NH3 taken 6 times, Cl3. K4, something like Fe, Cl6. You can go for K3, Fe, Cl6. See, now if you see, if you look at this compound, what we are looking, it is formed by a combination of cobalt, ammonia, chlorine. Okay, or you can go for silver, something. Okay, if you dissolve this one in water, you will not get all these ions. This one is formed by these things. If you dissolve these compounds in water, you will not get this thing. So this one, you can go for K plus, something like Fe plus 2, something like Cl minus. Here also K plus, something like Fe plus 2 plus 3 and Cl minus. See, basically by the combination of these three things you are getting this compound. This compound are getting by the combination of these three things. This compound are getting by the combination of these things. But if you dissolve in the water, they will not associate in this pattern. Okay, they will not associate. They dissociate in the pattern that are called double salts. They are not associating in this pattern. They are getting dissociated as in this pattern. See, this pattern, the whatever the resultant you are obtaining is like this. CO in H3. So taken this is 6 times plus 3 Cl. So this entire complex, see whatever that is present in the bracket, you are getting one thing, and the remaining thing is this one. Okay, you are having 3 chlorines, right? So you will be getting plus 3 for this one, chlorine you are minus charge, minus 1 charge. So you will be getting 3 chlorines. So total how many ions you are getting here? You are getting 4 ions. See, 1 cation, 3 ions. Totally 4 ions. Suppose if you go for this one, how it should be evaluated? You know very well that. So, potassium is of less charge. How many are there? We are having 4 potassiums. So it is 4. So 4 cations are getting, and entire complex is one side. Fe, Cl6 minus 4. So totally how many ions? You can enter 1 ion. See, in this case, this is taking the cation place. This coordination complex is getting positive charge plus 3. Okay, in this case, this complex is getting negative charge. So this is negative. Right? See, in this case, it is very easy. You will be getting 3 potassiums. One is Fe, Cl6 whole power minus 3. So Ca totally, this is 4, 1, totally 5 ions. Here 3, 1, 4 ions. This is the basic difference between the double salts as well as the coordination complexes. Double salt, by whatever the components it has formed, it gets distributed in the same way whenever it has been dissolved in the water. But if you go for the coordination complexes, if they have been dissolved in the water, they will not dissociate in the way that they have formed. Okay, they have been formed by these elements. Okay, these ions, they will not dissociate into these ions. They will dissociate in this pattern. Entire one complex set will be having as one unit, and the other thing as remaining ions. Right? This is also same. If there is dissociation in this pattern, okay, then such compounds are called as coordination complexes or coordination compounds. Right? We can go for coordination compounds. Why this is occurring in coordination complexes? Getting me? Why this is occurring? Means generally these are formed by transition metals. Generally coordination complexes are formed by transition elements. Okay, transition elements. So what are the transition elements? Scandium to zinc, as well as yttrium to cadmium. Next one is lanthanum to mercury. These are the transition elements, right? Zinc, cadmium, mercury are not transition elements. Those are the bottom. See, remember this: zinc, cadmium, mercury are not transition elements. Remember this one. It has been asked many times. Zinc, cadmium, mercury are all the transition elements. Something like scandium, titanium, uranium, chromium, manganese, iron, copper, nickel, zinc, yttrium, zirconium, niobium, molybdenum, technetium, ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, silver, and cadmium. And it will go for lanthanum, hafnium, tantalum, tungsten, rhenium, osmium, indium, platinum, gold, and mercury. Right. These are the things which you will be getting with respect to the transition elements. Right. So generally, complexes or coordination complexes are formed by D block elements. Why these are formed coordination complexes? Means these are small in size. Okay. So the transition elements are small in size. Moreover, second is they will be having more nuclear charge. Okay, and next it is vacant d orbitals to accept lone pair of electrons. So these are the conditions. Something like small size, high nuclear charge, vacant d orbitals, and they can accept vacant d orbitals are present to accept the lone pair of electrons. What is the vacant d orbital again? What are the lone pair of electrons? We will discuss how they are accepting. First, you underline these points in your mind. So coordination complexes are formed by D block elements. Okay, those are having vacant d orbitals. Why vacant d orbitals are required? To accept the lone pair of electrons. Okay, to accept the lone pair of electrons, we require the vacant d orbitals. So they are having high nuclear charge. Means the nucleus is very high effective in attracting the negative things. So these are the factors for the formation of the coordination complexes. Right? And basically this was given by Mr. Alfred Werner. Alfred Werner. He is called as father of coordination complexes. Okay? Father of coordination complexes. Getting me? Right, Alfred Werner. First time he was the person to do research on the states of compounds, and he has been awarded with the Nobel Prize. Right, what he has done? He has said two types of valences are present. Okay? Two types of valences are present. In that, one is primary valency, and the second one is secondary valence. Right? And whatever the theory he has proposed, it is called as Alfred Werner theory. Alfred Werner is one of the coordination complexes. He has proposed one theory. It is called as Alfred Werner theory. And what does this theory say? First point, it says that any coordination complex, it consists of two types of valences. One is primary valency and the other is secondary valency. Okay, primary valency is ionizable. Okay, you can remove that one. Getting me? Primary valency is ionizable. It is represented with dotted lines. It is represented with dotted lines. This one. Secondary valency is non-ionizable. What is mean by ionizable? Means you can get ions here. In this case, you can't get ions. Okay, and this one represented. This is represented with thick lines. Thick lines. Okay. Secondary valency will be represented with thick lines, and primary valency is represented with dotted lines. It is outside coordination complex it is present. Outside coordination complex it is present. This is inside the coordination complex is present. This is present inside the coordination complexes. These are the basic differences. And here is one with respect to this molecule called as, this is cobalt NH3 taken, then go for 6 times. Let's see. This is the molecule what he has taken. The naming of these compounds we will learn. Okay. This is generally hexaamino cobalt 3 chloride. That is the name of this compound. How to make the coordination compounds? We are having separate session. We will take separate session and we will go for naming. Right? Now don't bother about the naming of this compound. So primary valency, secondary valency. Primary valency is ionizable. The secondary valency is non-ionizable. Primary valency is represented with the dotted lines and secondary valency is represented with the thick line. The primary valency ions, whatever those are present, those are outside the coordination complex. Whenever they are present inside the coordination complex, they are strongly bound. You can't remove them. Okay, right? So let me erase this. So this one, we have one more thing we can say. This one, it represents oxidation states. It represents oxidation states. Okay, secondary valency, it represents coordination member. So this one is representing the oxidation state. Whatever the oxidation state will be present for the entire complex, it represents the oxidation state primary valency, and the secondary valency it represents the coordination of whatever that is present. So the way the ligands arrangement around the central atom gives the shape of the molecule. So whatever the ligands that are present now will be the cation. You will be getting the water. The ligands gives the shape for the molecule whatever you are learning. Right? So primary valency, secondary valency, due to the secondary valency you will be getting the shape of the molecule. The shape of the molecule will be having, like if you go for hydration, first year if you look at something like linear, trigonal, planar, tetrahedral, trigonal, bipiramidal, octahedral, pentagonal, bipiramidal, you are having the shapes, right? In that way, there may be presence of the shapes in these molecules, right? See, this is the entire new topic. Okay, be cautious and learn, it is very easy. Right, this is the difference. He has given alpha and beta has given two types of valencies. Primary as well as the secondary. Primary is represented with the dotted lines and secondary is represented with the thick lines. Right. So and he has worked out with this molecule. That is the shape of the molecule. That is the molecule he has taken. So he has taken the molecules and he has drawn like this. The shape of the molecule CO NH3 6Cl3. So totally how many ions you can attain here? See, first remember octahedral shape. Octahedral shape is you will be having one square like this. One square like this will be having at the center of the square to the top. At the top of the center of the square will be having one particle. Bottom will be having one particle. Getting me? So I am representing here. You are taking a something like a square. Like this is present. Now you turn like this. Right. This is a square. At the top you are having one particle. At the bottom you are having one particle. Okay? Particles are present here. This is particle. So this is the center one. If I draw a line to the top. So here one particle is present at the bottom. Here one particle is present. Means this is the central atom. Here central atom is present at the center of the square. Above the center of the central atom you are having one particle, below the central atom you are having one more particle, right? Surrounding you are having four. Then if this structure is called as octahedral structure or octahedral geometry. Octahedral structure, okay, or octahedral geometry, right? Okay, in this one, if you go, at the central cobalt is present there. This one balancing is 3. Don't get confused. See, first you note out. See, cobalt I am giving here. Take the molecule. How many are there here? 6 are there. So, this NH3 are present inside the coordinates. See, this is the complex. All are present here. So, if I dissociate this one, let me dissociate this molecule. CO NH3 taken 6 times. This is plus 3. Already 3 CO minus N. Okay. In this way, you can dissociate. See, these are the 3 things that are getting ionized. So, these are these chloride ions are going to the central atom. This is the central atom. Whatever the transition metal present in the coordination sphere, it is called as central atom. Okay. The transition metal present inside the coordination sphere is called as central atom. Right. Whatever those are present outside the coordination sphere, they can be removed. Those are linked with primary valency. So, these 3 chloride ions are linked with primary valency, means dotted lines. And if you go for the ammonium, these ammonium, 6 ammoniums are linked to the cobalt with thick lines, right? So I am writing the structure of this one. So go for the structure, cobalt, you are having 6. 6 means octahedral geometry. See, yes, generally hydration is sp3d2. See, 2 are there here, here 3, here 1. So 2 plus 3 plus 1, this total 6. So octahedral geometry, by seeing at this number, we can say that what is the coordination number? Right. This is cobalt. If I assume like this, generally they will not represent this one. So here, NH3 is present. Here, NH3 is present. Here, NH3, as well as here, NH3. Above 1 NH3 and below 1 NH3. So generally this is the structure. They will not represent this square. They will erase all this one. See, the molecule will be like this. Okay. So this is what? These are the thick lines. How the molecule is present. Getting me? This is the coordination complex. They are represented in this way. And whatever these lines are there, that is called as secondary lines because those are the thick lines. Okay. And if you go for the chlorine, this is the anywhere you can write. This is chlorine. Okay, there are 3 chlorines which are linked with dotted lines. We can easily remove them. Okay, here also same. So this is the structure of the COCl3. Sorry, CONH3 taken 6 times Cl3. Next, the same one CONH3 taken 5 times Cl. See, 1 ammonia is lesser here in this complex. You are having only 5 ammonia. So if I go for the this one, so what do we get? Cobalt. How many ions you can get here? Totally you can get like this. So CO NH3 taken 5 times Cl plus 2 Cl minus. So totally you get 2. This is 1. So totally you are getting 3 ions. In this you are getting 3 ions. Here you are getting how many? Here 3 1. Totally here 4 ions you can obtain. Right, getting me? So how you should go for the structure? See, 1 chlorine from outside you are getting into this one. So that secondary valence is generally represented with the thick line. Whenever it is coming from outside, it is also represented with the dotted line also. See, I will show. Generally, if you go for cobalt, so our structure is like this. NH3, like NH3 here, NH3, go for NH3. 5 organic NH3. But this one requires 6 ligands. Okay, 6 generally requires 3 ligands. So chlorine here, chlorine. It is also present inside this field, but it has come from outside. Generally, this is the commercial 3. It is coming inside. Whenever it comes inside, okay, then it is also represented in dotted line. Sir, how do we know whether it is coming from outside or inside? No, based on the ions, he has got 3 ions. Okay, based on the he has got the structure. This one will not dissociate. Even if it is coming from outside to the inside, from outside to it is coming to the coordination sphere, it is having both the things. This one we cannot remove, we cannot ionize that chlorine. We can ionize only how much? These 2 chlorines. So, 1 chlorine, this is 1 more chlorine. Simple. Right? So you are getting 2 chlorines which can easily ionizable, and this is the structure of the molecule. Suppose if I go for the molecule like CO, then H3 4, Cl2, Cl. See, you can easily write. See how many ions will be getting here? You are going to be getting 1, here this is 1. So totally 2 ions are possible. Okay, 2 ions. Before what is structure? Cobalt is like this. So this is NH3, NH3, NH3. So NH3. Right. Chlorines are 2. Chlorine, chlorine. So these 2 are coming from outside. This is. So how many are outside? Only 1. So how many ions are already? 2. Okay. If I go for the structure like CO, NH3, take it thrice, Cl. So this is the complex one. Having how many ions you get? See, you have got first 4, this was 3, this is 2, and this one 1. No, you should not have any. This is not an ion. You will not get any ions here. Okay, whatever the outside chlorines are, they have come inside. They have become secondary values. So what you can do? You can erase these things. Something like chlorine, chlorine, chlorine. See, all are these things. 3 ammonias, 3 chlorines. See, 3 ammonias, 3 chlorines. But these are come from outside, right? So you can represent the secondary valence as it is from the outside. You can represent in this terms. So number of ions you are getting in this molecule is 0 ions you are getting. So no ions will be getting. You will not be getting all the ions. In this way, based on the number of ions, he has predicted the structure. See, first the structure has not come. First the ions have come. Okay? First the ions have come, then he has predicted the structure. Are you getting the structure? Right. I will show you all the things happening. This is what the Harvard Journal has sent to us. So whenever you take the complex like CO, NH3, taken 6, Cl3. Whenever this is made to react with AgNO3. Okay? So you are getting a complex like CO, NH3 taken 6 times plus 3 plus nitrate plus AgCl plus 3. Okay? Based on the how much amount of Ag you are getting, you can calculate the ions. You require 3 AgCl because we are having 3 Cl, right? So 3 AgCl, 3 nitric ions will be having. Getting me? So if you are getting 3 AgCl, means you can say that here 3 chlorines are present outside the coordination sphere. Okay, the precipitate amount will be more, or you can go for the you require more amount of AgNO3 to precipitate this one because outside one is easily ionizable. So number of ions totally here how many are there? You can get 4 ions. 3 chlorines, this one comes 4. Suppose if I take the molecule like CO, NH3, taken 5 times chlorine, this is Cl2. Now it is made to react with AgNO3. Something like how many AgNO3 required? Required because they are having 2 chlorines. So it is 2 AgNO3. So So the complex will be like this: CO, NH3, taken 5 times Cl. So this is something like plus 2 plus 2NO3 minus plus 2AgCl. So this is the precipitate. How many ions you will be getting? So number of ions, it is 3 from this complex. Right? Same way, CO, NH3 taken 4 times Cl2Cl plus AgNO3. Because outside we are having only one, we can get the molecule like CO, NH3 taken 4 times Cl plus NO3 minus plus 1 AgCl. So how many ions you can get here from the complex? So you can get 2 ions. Suppose if I take the molecule like CO, NH3 taken 3 times Cl plus AgNO3. So how many molecules are outside? We are having nothing. So this reaction will not happen. So how many ions you will be getting? 0 ions, not 1 ion. So no AgCl precipitation. Based on AgCl, we are calculating how many are present here outside. How many are present outside? We are calculating. So based on this, we are going for the structure. That is what the Alfred method has given. Based on the structure, we are not getting the precipitate. Based on the precipitate, we are getting the structure. So this is what the Alfred method theory explains. But this theory has some failures. This theory, whatever he has mentioned, it has some failures. What are the failures? Okay. So it did not explain. So I am going for the failures. It did not explain electronic configuration of central atom. Okay, central atom we have taken complex, right? In that we are having one central atom, the transition metal. He could not explain the transition metal electronic configuration, how it is getting distributed. Because suppose if you take the composition like CO is the central atom. See, this is the complex. Okay. So what is the configuration of this one? Because this NH3 also is forming bond with this one. Okay, NH3 is forming bond with the cobalt. How it is linked? NH3 is donating electrons to the cobalt. So what will be the electronic configuration of the cobalt? He could not explain. See, between these two there is a bond. In general, you see how many types of bonds are there here? How many types of bonds are there? Means you will be having ionic bond, covalent bond as well as covalent bond. Right? We shall go in detail. First, he could not explain the electronic configuration of the central atom. Why he could not explain means this NH3 is also donating electrons to the cobalt. Each NH3 donates 2 electrons. See, NH3 is basically neutral molecule. So whatever the electrons are present, this one it donates electrons. See, NH3 is what? NH3 is neutral molecule. It is donating electrons to the cobalt. Okay, how many are there? You are having 6. So I can one more NH3. Like NH3, this is third one. Right? NH3. Fourth. NH3. Something like fifth. NH3. Sixth. See? Each ammonia is having one low pair of electrons on it. It is donating electrons to the central atom of the cobalt. Now what will be the cobalt electronic configuration? Yes, right? You are getting 12 extra electrons. See? 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay? 12 extra electrons you are getting from the cobalt. So what is the electronic configuration? He could not explain. And remember, any molecule which is donating low pair of electrons, it is called as Lewis base, according to acid and base concept. And another name has been given to it is called as ligand. Ligand is the molecule which is linked to the central atom, donates one lone pair of electrons. Okay? Ligand is the molecule present in the coordination complex. It donates 2 electrons to the central atom. So it is called as ligand, or according to Lewis acid-base theory, any substance which donates a lone pair of electrons is called as Lewis base. Any substance which accepts a lone pair of electrons, it is called as Lewis acid. So he could not explain this electronic configuration of the central atom. He could not explain. He did not explain. Okay, as well as hybridization. hybridization of central atom. This is central atom. What is the hybridization? Before forming a molecule, before forming a compound. For ionic compound, you will not have any hybridization. But this is coordinate. What type of bond this is? These are all coordinate covalent bonds, right? These are all the coordination covalent bonds. And see, you see this molecule, you can dissociate this one as same thing. CO in H3 taken 6 times plus 3 plus 3 Cl minus. Means what is this indicating? You are having ionic bond because you are having ions. This is plus 3 cation, this is anion. No problem with ionic bond. Here, this is the entire thing whatever you are having inside this one. This is CO and everything is 6 times. This is something else plus 3. In cation, you are having covalent bonds, coordinate covalent bonds. See again NH3. NH3 is like this. H, H, H. What is this? This is covalent bond. Okay? Covalent bond. See, in ammonia covalent bond is present. With ammonia this is coordinate covalent bond is present, as well as this is plus 3 and this is minus 7. So this is ionic bond. So in coordination complexes, you can see coordinate covalent bond as well as covalent bond, and ionic bond may or may not be present. Okay, why I am telling ionic bond may or may not be present means, suppose if I take the molecule like CO in H3 taken 3 times Cl. See, in this ionic bond is present or not? No ionic bond, because outside the sphere it doesn't have any extra ions, right? So it is only covalent bond, coordinate covalent bond. These two are present. Ionic bond is absent, but in this ionic bond is also present because they are getting the ions, right? So we could not explain the central atom hybridization. Why hybridization happens? If there is any coordinate covalent bond or covalent bond, there should be hybridization, right? Before forming the covalent bond or coordinate covalent bond, they undergo the hybridization, then only they form the molecule. Okay, simple example is our CH4. CH4 is sp3 hybridization. Directly all the electrons whatever that are present in 2p will not overlap with the s orbital of the hydrogen. Okay, right. So what we can say that the hybridization of the central atom could not be explained, and it could not explain. It did not explain magnetic nature. Some molecules are getting attracted in the magnetic field. Magnetic behavior. Okay, whatever that is present, magnetic behavior, whatever that is present in the coordination complexes have not been explained by the theory. And the colors, there are some colors also. It could not explain colors also. Colors of coordination complexes. Okay. So these are the failures with respect to the Alfred Weber theory. But he has given the major idea. Primary valency as well as the secondary valency. They will represent the total length equation. Primary valency represents the oxidation state of the entire coordination sphere. Okay, secondary valency represents the coordination number. Based on the ligands how they have attached to the central atom, the shape of the molecule can be determined. Okay, right? Okay, students, see. But he has given one important idea that this is the central atom, it is accepting the electrons and it gains electrons. So basically this is having 27 electrons plus surrounding how many are getting 12 electrons, something. Okay, based on the oxidation state, you are having plus 3, right? So you will be getting something like the total electrons in the valence shell will be 36. It is equal to in a gas configuration. So by accepting all the low pair of electrons from the ligands, it gains the it gains the number of electrons which is equal to the next inner gas configuration. You will be having this, right? Okay, you will be having helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. Okay, suppose you are having cobalt. If it accepts 4 electrons, it gets the configuration of krypton. If there is any atom, something like iron, it accepts the electrons, so that it gets the electron configuration of the nearest noble gas. Something like we are having zirconium. It accepts the electrons, so that it gets the configuration of the xenon. Okay, it accepts because they are getting 4 electrons, right? Okay, it accepts such electrons, or you are having some element, tungsten. It accepts electrons. It comes to the electron configuration of the radon. Means what I mean here is, whatever the central atom that is present here, it accepts the electrons from the ligands. Okay, and it will get the next nearest inert gas configuration. Okay, so That is the only thing you can say by using this theory. The central atom, the coordination sphere, by accepting the electrons, it brings the next inert gas configuration, right? So that it can be very stable. So students, this is what for this session. If you take heavy amount into your brains, you will be getting confused. See, I think you are clear with this Alfred-Wegener theory. Okay, first what we have discussed is double salt. Next it is formation of the complexes. In complex, Alfred-Wegener theory has been discussed of primary valency, secondary valency. Primary valency, it has the oxidation state. Secondary valency, it has the coordination number. Based on the number of ions, how many you are getting by AgNO3, he has given the structure of the molecules. Right? This is what for today. Have a nice day. Stay safe. Stay home. Bye.